Well, maybe you guys were right, and they said you can't spray metallics, you can't spray base coat, clear coat. Maybe you guys were right, man. It didn't come out quite the way I wanted it to, but it's close.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
All right, your boy Trigger Man back in the lab. And today, what we have here. Today, first off, we hit 20,000 subscribers since the last video. I want to thank all of you guys, each and every last one of you. I really appreciate you. From the guys from way back, even to the new 3,000 plus subscribers that we just got last week from the one video. Welcome all of you. You're all appreciated, man. Really appreciate it here. I know I talk a lot of crap, I joke a lot, but I really do sincerely appreciate all of you guys. Genuinely, I do, really, okay? That's first off. And even the haters, the trolls, I love you guys, man, in a crazy way. I love you guys, because I know I'm helping to raise you, so I take pride in that for you haters. Today, the hibachi. Man, let me say this thing right. Hichika, the hichika. Man, hibachi. This is the hibachi. We're spraying this again, okay? It did the single stage. It did the clear coat. They want to know if it can spray metallics. So I'm going to spray some metallics. I'm going to do my best. Last week, man, I don't know if I got lucky. I don't know what happened or if the gun is just that good, but we know it did great, okay? This little thing there, it did great. So I'm going to spray some metallics. I have a Mercedes, I forget the paint code, but it's a light silver beige metallic, okay? So I think it'll be good for that. So I'm gonna do the hood with that. I'm gonna do this fender in that base coat, clear coat, and this is the old single stage from last week that I just scuffed down, had the clear on it, but I'm gonna try something a little different with that, okay? You gotta stay tuned and see what we're gonna do with that. It's gonna be something different with the same hibachi, okay? Same hibachi. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, man. So I'm gonna go mix up, mask up, keep my fingers crossed again, because I don't know, man. I don't know if last week was luck or what, but I was amazed by it. But if it does it today on metallics, base coat, clear coat, then you know it's official, right? So let's see what we got. Okay, fellas, we're back again with the hibachi airless sprayer, okay? Unfortunately, on this hood, I ran out of paint. I didn't have enough paint to finish the hood. It was over the black that was previously there. Again, I'm just doing this stuff real quick. I have a bunch of work in the shop to do, so I'm trying to just do this stuff to show the guys that really need it, that are doing it from home, that it works. And I have to work with whatever paint I have. So unfortunately, I ran out of paint doing the hood. But had I would have had enough paint, it would have been no problem. Smooth as butter. Even for running out of paint and spraying over the black, it still came out good. It still came out good. See, I'm shaking it there to see if I have enough to finish the hood and then even do the fender. So I didn't even have enough to finish the hood. So that's how that went. But it does spray the metallics good. No problem. I know that was a lot of people's concern. Initially, when I did the black single stage, a lot of you guys were asking, and I didn't know myself. I've never done this stuff before. I'm doing this first time live with you guys. So, I couldn't just give you an answer. Yeah, it can spray metallics. I had to actually put it to the test. So, again, it's basically got a paint. I'm just trying to mist it around and blow dry it a little bit. On this video, this will be a little longer, and I'm gonna do less edits for the simple fact I'm trying to be as transparent with you guys as possible. So you will see a lot of times I won't edit, okay? I'll just sit there, I'll let the fenders dry. I'm gonna take the camera off the mount, pan it around the panel so that you can see live what's going on, how's it drying, How's it looking? How's it going on? So those of you that really need something like this, I'm sure you guys won't mind to sit and watch and actually see how the gun is performing. The know-it-all pro painters, you know, those are the guys that they're not gonna sit there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so officially out of paint. All right, so as you just witnessed, I ran out of paint. Yeah, ran out of paint. The amount of paint I had in that gun, I normally would be able to spray this hood as well as that fender. So the gun does put down more material than normal. I will say that. So I'm gonna let this flash off. We're gonna leave it though. I'm not gonna go back and correct nothing. Again, there's still some little spots where the black is still showing through, but I'm not gonna worry about that. So what I'm gonna do, I have another, it's a GM paint coat. I forget the code, but it's a metallic I'm gonna put on this fender, okay? So we'll still leave this thing as it is, and we're gonna put a different metallic on here, and then we also still have the special little tricky thingy we're gonna do on this fender. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go mix up this other paint, mask up, and we'll get to it. Okay, and as you see here, completely out of paint. So what I did is I took this other GM paint that I had in a can, and I basically just poured it straight into the container with that. I didn't bother cleaning it out. Like I said, I'm just in the booth trying to hurry up and get this done for you guys, and then get back to my work that I have to do for the shop. So again, normally I would have edited that and went ahead and just started off spraying, but I want you to see what I'm doing exactly. You know, I just put the paint directly in there, shake it up. That's it. Okay, now we're going to the fender. And same thing. I mean, it goes down smooth. And with this gun, you can manipulate the amount of material that's coming out. You know, you have to, same thing with a regular spray gun, you have to control it with the trigger. There is a little knob on the gun for the fluid. I didn't want to mess with that. I just left it as it is, which I believe it's wide open. So now I'm just blowing some air on it, letting it flash off. Then a couple times you'll see I'll blow the pressure on my hand. It's actually what I'm doing. I'm really trying to get a feel of how many PSI this thing would be if you could kind of like translate it to an actual spray gun. And I would say anywhere from 22 to 25 PSI. That's what it feels like to me. Okay, 22, 25. Yeah, that's what it feels like. As you know, because a couple guys in the last video did ask me if I were to guess how many PSI it would be with a normal spray gun. So that is right about that, about 25 PSI. And again here, I'm just blowing some air on it, letting it flash off. Now it is going on heavy on this fender. It's going on heavy. And then what I do is I give it a drop coat. I barely squeeze the trigger, and I back up a whole lot, just like you would do on your normal paint jobs with your regular spray gun. But you don't have control of the air pressure. Normally you would drop the air pressure down on the regular spray gun. I was checking the thing to see if it gets hot. It does not feel hot or anything. A couple guys asked me, "Oh, will it explode?" Like, it's a paint gun that's designed to spray paint, and I'm spraying paint with it. And it's like, I don't know what be up with these people, man. If you throw it in a fire, I'm sure it's gonna explode. But yeah, touching the panel, see it's flashing off. Again, so that's gonna be important if you're not too experienced with painting. even with regular guns, give it, see how I'm just giving it a light mist coat. I'm barely pulling that trigger, barely pulling the trigger. This is where I say skill has to come into play. You can't just grab this thing, squeeze the trigger, and think you're gonna get those results that I got on last week's video. You won't. You have to develop some skill, okay? Not to say you don't have to go and learn with the air compressor spray guns, but you can still learn with this, but you'll just have to, yeah, see, I was kind of happy. Because at first it was looking blotchy with the regular way when you hold it in. And then once I did that drop coat and I missed it on there, then it looked like that's a real, you know, smooth, silky, smooth, just before clear coat. That's how you want it to look, just like that. Once I saw that, I was kind of like, okay, good. I know that this gun can do it, you know? Yeah, so I was happy there. We got this here flashing off. We still flashing off here, but we about ready to clear. Okay, so that's where we at. That's where we at. That's where we at. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go mix up some clear, and we're gonna clear both of these here. Yeah. Okay, so now gonna mix up the clear coat. There we go. The AmTech Euro Clear can be found in my Amazon store, as well as link in the description if you're interested. Mixes 2 to 1. I'm going to be using a slow activator. Okay, slow activator. Mixes 2 to 1. Again, it's in the Amazon store. If you want to take a look, you know, throw it in your cart and sleep on it. Then reducer, right? Fast reducer. No. I tell y'all all the time, no, don't put no damn reducer in your clear coat. Okay? I catch anybody putting reducer in clear coat, I'm gonna take this paint stick and I'm gonna pop you across your knuckles. Okay, we got the clear in there. We're ready to roll. I keep the fan at wide open. Now, what I noticed as I use the machine a little more is that there's a slight delay when you pull the trigger. So if you notice, when I'm painting, I always start off the panel. Like I'll start spraying before I even hit the panel. So there's a slight delay. I guess it's the pump. You know, the pump has to start pumping and pump the material up through there. So it takes like 3 seconds after you pull the trigger before it starts to spray out. So just something that you might want to keep in mind and look out for. So basically, just like any spray gun or any tool, but more specifically, any spray gun, the more you use it, the more familiar you'll get with it. Okay? So same thing with me. I'm using it. The more I spray with it, the more familiar I am with the tool, you know? That's why you see earlier when I was just spraying the air, feeling it, you know, you just have to get familiar with it. And just like any spray gun, then you'll become more efficient and the jobs will come out better. Again, I'm going to stress to you guys that this is not the magical solution by any stretch of the imagination. It's really not, okay? It's gonna take you some time, man. It really is, to get used to it, to adjust to it, especially if you're an inexperienced painter. I mean, it is gonna take you some time. You know, I'm not gonna let off trying to beat that in your head. Okay? So as I'm doing here, I just want to take it right off the stand so you can see what it's looking like. First coat. Okay. And let you see the hood there. And that's what we got. Okay, we got the first coat on. I'm starting to get the hang of it, really. Yeah, the more I spray it, the more I get the feel of it, and I know what I can do, what I can't do. With this gun, you can trigger the gun. And when I say trigger it, meaning you control the amount of material coming out. It does have a dial on there. Let me show you instead of talking about it. It does have a dial right here, but I don't like to lock in a certain amount of fluid, like to make it real tight. I like to be able to control that, because there's certain times to when you're spraying and you want a lot of material coming out. Say on the hood, for instance, you see how that's like wet on there? You want a lot coming out. Then when you get to, say, your panels that are sitting sideways, you don't really want a whole lot of material coming out in there. You want to be able to control that. That's where you would like barely pull the trigger, so it'll be less material coming out, but still atomizing. So it'll take some getting used to. Again, you're not gonna just pull it out the box and pull it just like I did last week on that black vehicle, the black parts. So it'll take some getting used to. It takes a little, like I said at the end of that video, stop worrying about all those different things about the spray guns and develop the skill. The skill is what's gonna do this. It's not saying that this is magical. You pull this out the box and you spray it. You're gonna be like, oh man, look at this. You have to develop that. I'm just showing you that the little thing, the hibachi, that it's capable. Just like I do with every spray gun, it's capable. But you have to develop the skill. If you don't have the skill, none of these guns, $1,200 spray guns, none of that will do anything for you. That's the God's honest truth, man. I'm just showing you that the thing is capable. All the guys that had something to say about, oh, this and that, and oh, I'm gonna stick to my Iwata, stick to my Seda. Of course, if you're a professional painter, you're spraying, you're a painter, that's your career, of course. But guys that are doing this stuff from home, in the garages, in the driveway, hardly any overspray, nothing's flying in the air, and I mean, it's capable. That's it, man, So I'm gonna go ahead, put on a second coat of clear on both of these. I'm gonna put another coat on here, another coat on there, and then I'm gonna start the process on this black fender that I was telling you guys about, and we'll see what happens there, okay? So here we go, boop. Okay, so yeah, like I said there, I don't really want to lock in the fluid on this spray gun because, again, I'm on the hood right now. I want it pretty heavy. I want more material coming out. I want the hood wet, okay? Those of you who were with me from the beginning, my first 1,000 subscribers, you remember my saying, if you don't have a wet hood, the paint job ain't no good. That's what I used to always say. If you ain't got a wet hood, the paint job ain't no good, period. I want a hood wet. So leave the adjustment out for me. You guys can play around with it if you want, but I'd rather have the option of having more than enough material, especially on a hood. And then I can take that same setting and then go over to the fender here, and then I can just lightly squeeze the trigger. Right now I'm not giving a full trigger, and I'm moving pretty fast. And it's like the faster you move, the more you can kind of gauge it. You have to look at this paint when it's going down. When the paint is going down, look at it. If it looks like it's going on dry, give another pass. Give about 80% overlap. Look at it. You have to watch it going down. Look from an angle. Position your body. Hold your arm out, tilt your head, and look from an angle. See how it's going down. Don't assume it's going down. Don't wait until you finish the panel and take a look at it and like, oh, this is what I got. No, see, watch how it's going down. And that's with any gun. Watch how the material is going down. That lets you know what you need to do moving forward. 80%, 50%, okay, it's too wet. I can go less overlap. Watch it go down. Now on this fender, what I did is I took some Yes Oh Great, I think it's called, color shift pigment powder, and I added it into the clear coat. Okay, one wet coat, that's what I gave it. Now I'm just kind of analyzing the situation, and then I'm gonna go ahead and kind of mist a little more over it so that it has a little bit more of the pigment powder. But first, unmount right off the stand, right to it, so you guys can see. Nothing edited. Okay, back onto the mount. Back with the pistola. Okay, and here just kind of misting it, getting some more of the pigment on there. So yeah, this is the what's it called? Yes Oh My, Yes So Great, Yes So Great pigment powder. It's on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. But I just took one of the little pouches, poured it into the container. I didn't strain it, didn't do anything. And that was it. Shook it around. I mean, it doesn't look like it's doing a whole lot of shifting, but there's a whole lot of flake. Like it has a real heavy sparkle to it. It looks better than the normal GM color there. You know, this is just a standard metallic, but that other fender with that Yes Oh My pigment powder, the color shift, yeah, that thing is sparkling like crazy. Yeah, so mount it back. Kind of forgot exactly what I'm gonna do here, but I know I didn't want to cut off the camera and edit nothing. I wanted you guys to see everything I'm doing, so bear with me. Okay, so another wet coat. And again, this is all in real time. Camera didn't stop. Okay, so I'm done there. Now what am I doing? Okay, yeah, I think this is pretty much it. So that lets you know the gun is capable of doing it. And I'm gonna keep repeating myself. Develop the skill. Okay? It's not some magical spray gun. See, yeah, this thing looked great. Like, this thing looked real good. Out of everything I've done with this little gun, this looks great. Like, I really like that. Everything was even. Nothing crazy. Yeah, I like that. I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. So the gun can do it. Metallics, base coat, clear coat, single stage. I'm not even gonna bother with primer. You figure it out yourself. It can spray primer, okay? I know it can spray primer. All right, we got it done. That's what we're looking like here. The metallics, as you can see, no problem with the metallics, okay? Metallics on this one. Pretty decent. Yes, it has a little bit of orange peel, but hey, it's a fence, wall, house, $45 sprayer. But to get you these results, I mean, yeah. Yeah, so that's it, okay? The gun is capable, okay? When you guys are asking me, does it spray metallics? How does it spray base? How does it spray this? How do you spray this? That's the question, okay? You still have to develop the skill to do this, okay? Make no mistake, you're not gonna pull this out of the box, just pull the trigger, and then get these results. You know, I don't wanna, mislead anybody into thinking that, okay? But what I want you to know is that it is a tool that can get you these results. It'll take some time, it'll take some practice, it'll take a few times. You gotta adjust to it. As I use it from last week to this week, spraying these different things, I've gotten more used to it. So even I can get a better finish. And I'm gonna tell you right now that I'm more than confident that if the air compressors to the shop were to go down and we had no air, I can take that gun and do a day's worth of work. And I may need to do some wet sand and buffing, you know, that may need some polishing or whatever, but it could work, definitely. So, you know, and in the other video, you guys were saying, like the guys with the Iwatas and Setas, oh, I'm gonna keep my Iwata, I'm gonna keep my Seta. Of course, you know, if you're a professional painter, of course you're gonna do that. So, yeah, man. So, like I said, the gun, it is very capable. Yeah, look good. So, I'm gonna let this sit up in here for a while. I got some other work to do in the shop. And then I'll pull this out a little later once it dries up a little bit. So, but yeah, looking good, man. So that's the answer to you guys' question. Metallics, bright metallics, dark metallics, chameleon shift, pigmentation, like anything, man. It can do anything, okay? Just, can you do anything? But all right, we'll get out later in the sun, take a peek. Peace. Okay, so for all of you guys that wanted to know, there's your metallics, base coat, clear coat. The gun can spray it. Okay? Even though I ran out of paint on the hood, you can still tell it does fine with metallics. Metallics on that fender, just fine. If you looked at these things, you would think they came out of a normal, expensive spray gun. Okay? So you guys doing it from home without the compressor, these are the results that you can get. Develop the skill. Get familiar with the spray gun, and you can 100% achieve the same results. Okay? Definitely. Without a compressor, without worrying about a regulator, without a nozzle, without a separator for your oil and your whatever else. It's all you need. Outlet, power outlet, and some paint. Okay? And practice. Power, practice, and paint. Okay? The 3 P's. That's all you need. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. I ask that you would please like, share, drop a comment. I ask that you would share this video with a friend. And after doing so, if you would please tell his girlfriend. Peace.